Hello, my name is Alzonia Shalise, and I am the owner of Pearls and Black clothing brand, where we aspire to change lives one t-shirt at a time. And I help victims of toxic and narcissistic abuse overcome their circumstances by teaching them the power of possessing a positive mindset. And today, I would like to talk about why we as individuals need a mentor. Have you ever woke up in the morning and realized that a whole life had just passed you by and you've not done anything with it? Like, there is more to life than just having babies and going to work and waiting for your yearly income tax to come so that you can shop for the biggest TVs or grills or the best looking cars that will get repossessed in 6 months, either because you can't afford the payments or you just bought a limit. Have you ever thought about the things you could have done with your income tax check besides buy Louis Vuitton bags or red bottoms? Or if you had a mentor or someone to say, hey, do you know you can invest in this? Or did you know you can invest in that if you took the time to do your research? There is a whole world out there you could be a part of if you just look outside your walls. Look outside of your apartment. There's a whole life outside of your city, outside of your state, out of your mind. Why aren't the churches teaching prosperity? And by that, I mean every Sunday they talk about repenting. They talk about paying your tithes and building the church. But the church they are trying to build is a physical one. They collect the tithes and offering from women on public assistance or low budget incomes who could barely pay their rent and bills at home to build a church so it could be the best looking church on the block, or so that they can have the best looking pastor driving the best cars and living in the best houses and wearing the best clothes and having the best looking first lady. But they don't work on the building. They don't work on building a church that was intended to be built, which is you. You are the church. Why don't the churches teach things like prosperity instead of building fear in the minds of their congregation, telling them to repent for the kingdom of God is at hand, teaching people to live in fear every day, preparing our souls to die and be able to go to heaven, when the Bible wants us to live and be alive and enjoy heaven here on earth? I remember as a teenager going to church so much, having that fear put inside my mind that I was afraid to live. My everyday thoughts were about, I want to see Jesus. I want to see Jesus. Why does everyone else get to die and see him first before me? I thought I was a bad person. No matter how much I prayed and went to church, I couldn't see Jesus. When you think about it, I was suicidal. That's not good. God lives in us. And we are not meant to live in poverty. We are not meant to give our last dime to building of a physical church without being taught how to build our spiritual church. We are the church. Why won't the churches set aside a day each week to hold business classes, the same way they set aside a day for fundraising to get more money from people struggling to go to work every day, riding public transportation, catching rides, walking to come to church to pay their tithes, just to watch the pastor drive off in his new Mercedes or new Bugatti? A church that prospers causes everyone to prosper. If you can hold prayer service in the middle of the week, why not also hold financing classes, mentoring classes? Teach the church how to budget so that they can gain the riches that has been set before them. I am not bagging on the church It's just something that's been on my mind because I was sitting here thinking about the things I could have accomplished in my life had I had a proper mentor. Had I known about the world outside of my parameters. And when I think about it, I spent all of my time as an adolescent growing up in the church, going to school, getting good grades, and going to church. I went to church on Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. I went to Monday and Wednesday night prayer service, Tuesday night Bible study, Thursday night choir rehearsal, Friday night service, Saturday youth revivals, and in between that, I had school. And not one time did anyone say, let's have a mentoring program for youth. Let's teach the parents in our church how to build wealth, how to budget, how to finance. Give resources to help pay their light bill when they struggle. Let's teach our people how to live a prosperous life. Pray a proper prayer for themselves. Long gone are the days when you have to go to the church and have the pastor pray for you and intercede on your behalf. If you are taught to pray and how to pray, you are able to intercede on your own behalf. God doesn't need a messenger. God has an open door policy, and you can get to him whenever you get ready. And I have no clue as to why I'm talking about this today, but it has been on my mind for years. Instead of holding a revival just around the time people get their income tax, or telling them the church has a leakage in the pipes, or you want to build a new annex or an extension in the church just to get them to pay more money, or creating a church program where whoever pays $1,000 get a gold plaque on the wall, or whoever pays $500 get a silver plaque on the wall, and the others get nothing, making each individual feel like they have to scrape up the money they don't have to give just to be viewed as worthy in the church's eye. Why not have a free business course? Teach them how to do their own taxes. Teach them what investments can be made that will help them build wealth. Teach them how to budget, how to save money, how to get out of debt. Help them pay their light bill. That's your community. Provide the children with gifts from the church so the parents don't have to struggle trying to see who can afford the most gifts every Christmas when they know they will be living in debt for the next few months, struggling, waiting for the income tax check to come because they can't buy food or they got behind on their rent. You mean to tell me out of all the tithes they pay in the church, the whole year round, the church can't foot the bill for at least one good gift for each child in the church, or maybe even two? Their parents supported the church the whole year. At least you can do that. At least you can give each child in the church a personal gift, something, one thing that they really want out of life. One thing that would make them feel important. And if you teach the church how to budget, teach them financing, mentor the children, the kids will understand that Christmas is once a year, and they can accept that one gift from the church and won't feel bad because they didn't get a plethora of gifts from their parents that they couldn't afford for this one day of the year. Because you are the ones who taught them that Christmas was about getting a lot of gifts in the first place. Things they get to ask for that they really don't need, again, trying to keep up with the Joneses. But if you mentor them and teach them to build a church in their heart, build a church in their mind, teach them how to live, overcome circumstances, be resilient, love one another. That is more of a gift than a physical one thing they can get one day out of a year. I'm just saying, I wish I had a mentor. I wish I had a mentor. I spent most of my life in church, praying aimlessly, not having a mind of my own because whatever I thought was along the lines of what made me a good Christian in the eyes of my church. What would my pastor approve of, disapprove of? What would the missionaries think of me? I knew I had one lady who was an evangelist at my church, and she was beautiful in her mind, in her spirit, and she could speak so well that whenever she spoke in church, she commanded the attention of everyone. She even wrote the pastor's sermons. I wanted so much to be like her, to speak like her, to command attention like her. Her name was Evangelist Moore, and I loved her. I always said I would be an evangelist just like her and speak and deliver and help people just like she did. She passed away before I could understand the value of telling someone how you feel about them while they are yet alive. She passed away before I could tell her how much I admire her. But she was a teacher of the church in the spirit. But anyway, these are just my thoughts for today, because I was thinking of all the times I made the money I dreamed of making, and I had the opportunity to invest and live and become so much more of myself. I didn't do it because I didn't know. I thought having the latest Louis Vuitton bag was what I wanted. Going out to the best restaurants, buying the latest jewelry. And don't get me wrong, I still have my jewelry. Not my bags because I gave them away and I didn't go into debt getting any of it. But I think they could have waited a little longer had I known I had just enough money to invest in my future and the things I wanted in my now. I would have waited, and knowing that these things would have been available to me in multiple forms had I known to ask the right questions to ask, the right people to ask, and to be more aware. The schools don't teach you how to budget either, or finance, or invest. They teach you how to follow rules, behave, go along to get along. They teach you how to cook, be a parent, carrying them dumb eggs around, dressed like babies or a whining doll around, changing diapers, teaching the youth, the young ladies, how to be a good wife, teaching the boys how to put on a condom. They don't teach you how to be a productive citizen. They don't teach you about being on the other side of the law, like becoming an attorney or doctor or judge. Instead of building hope, they build weak minds. So much so that children begin to depend on popularity in schools to define who they are. And then when they get ready to graduate, they are afraid because they don't know what to do. They haven't really been taught how to survive in a world where you need more than just a book of rules to follow in order to live. Having a moral compass is okay, but what about the creativity? What about the ability to think for yourselves, the ability to live outside of the box? Damn that circle of friends. When you know who you are as an individual, when you know your own potential, when you know your whole house is being taught the keys of leadership, your circle of friends are not needed. We need to get a grip on the things that matter, the things that make us more, the things that help us grow. And we start that by building our minds and teaching others how to live. Live past their circumstances. Live past the hurt. Live past the torment. And work towards building a prosperous future for ourselves and the ones that come behind us. That's all I have for today. That's my spill of today. It was on my mind so heavily that I felt like I needed to just get it out, to just talk to the people who are coming behind, so that they would know in your mind to be more vigilant, to prepare yourselves to live a prosperous future. I, I pray you all have an amazing day today. Thank you for listening to me vent. My name is Alzonia Shalise, and I appreciate you. If you care about the things I have to say, I would appreciate if you comment, like, subscribe, share with someone else who maybe my words might help resonate with them, and I pray it resonates with you. You have an amazing day today. I appreciate you.